It was a quiet evening in the town of Rosewood, where life usually moved at a gentle pace. Among its cobblestone streets and flowered balconies lived Ethan Cole, a young man known for his charming smile and quick wit. But beneath that charm was a darker side, a possessiveness that had cost him the love of his life, Lena Myers. 2 years earlier, Ethan and Lena had been inseparable. He adored her laughter, her gentle touch, and the way she made every day feel like spring. But as time passed, Ethan's love twisted into control. He demanded to know her every move, accused her of imaginary infidelities, and isolated her from friends. Lena tried to reason with him, but the more she pulled away, the tighter Ethan clung. Finally, Lena gathered the courage to leave. She packed her belongings one rainy night and vanished from Ethan's apartment without a word. For months, Ethan searched, calling every mutual friend, even driving to neighboring towns. But Lena never returned. 1 year later, Lena reappeared, not in Ethan's life, but on the arm of Ryan Blake, a newcomer to Rosewood. Ryan was everything Ethan wasn't: calm, patient, and gentle. To Ethan, it felt like betrayal, even though they hadn't spoken in over a year. From the moment Ethan saw Lena with Ryan at a cafe downtown, something inside him snapped. "She was mine," Ethan whispered to himself that night, staring at their laughing faces he had captured on his phone. "If I can't have her, no one will." Weeks passed, and Ethan's obsession grew. He followed Lena discreetly, memorizing her routines: morning jogs in Willow Park, evening visits to Ryan's apartment, weekend trips to the farmer's market. He learned everything, from where she parked her car to which cafe she preferred. One stormy night, Ethan sat in his dimly lit apartment, rain tapping against the window. In front of him lay a knife. His trembling hands traced the blade as memories of their happier days flooded back. "She promised we'd be together forever," he muttered. "She lied, she chose him." In his mind, hurting Lena wasn't cruelty, it was justice. A way to stop the unbearable pain gnawing at him every time he imagined her smiling at Ryan. The following Friday, Lena and Ryan planned a small dinner at Lena's apartment. Ethan knew this because he had intercepted one of Lena's texts to a friend, thanks to an old, still-active email login he never deleted. That evening, Ethan waited in the shadows across the street. The sight of Ryan's arm around Lena as they entered the apartment burned through him. Hours passed. Lights flickered inside. He imagined them laughing, kissing, sharing dreams that once belonged to him. At midnight, Ethan approached. Knife in his jacket pocket, gloves on his hands. He forced himself to breathe slowly. This would be quick, he told himself. He'd knock, Lena would open, and everything would finally end. But as he raised his hand to knock, he heard something, a melody. Through the thin walls of the apartment came Lena's voice, humming softly as she washed dishes. It was a song Ethan knew well. She used to hum it when she was happiest, usually on quiet Sunday mornings when they'd lie in bed, sunlight spilling through the curtains. The sound stopped him cold. Ethan peeked through a small gap in the curtains. Inside, Lena was laughing with Ryan, gently flicking soap suds at him. She looked free, lighter than he had ever seen her. The weight of their toxic past was gone from her shoulders. For a fleeting second, Ethan's anger faltered, replaced by guilt. Memories rushed back, not of passion, but of nights when Lena cried herself to sleep after another of his jealous outbursts. How he had shouted at her for texting her brother too late at night, accused her of flirting with waiters, forced her to quit her dance class because he feared other men would notice her. He had loved her, yes, but his love had been a cage. As the knife in his pocket pressed against his thigh, Ethan's breath grew shallow. His reflection in the window looked monstrous, a shadow of the man he once thought he was. He realized then that hurting Lena wouldn't bring her back, nor would it heal the festering wound in his heart. It would only destroy what little humanity he had left. Ethan stumbled back, retreating into the rain-soaked night. For days, Ethan stayed locked inside his apartment, haunted by what he almost did. He stared at the knife on his kitchen counter, the weight of his obsession crushing him. Finally, he knew what he had to do. He checked himself into a rehabilitation center for anger management and psychological counseling. It wasn't easy. He battled denial, shame, and long-buried trauma from his childhood. But slowly, he began to understand the roots of his jealousy and control. Months passed. Ethan never contacted Lena again, though from time to time, he'd see her around town with Ryan. Instead of rage, he felt a bittersweet sadness. He had lost her, yes, but in a way he finally understood why. One autumn afternoon, Ethan was leaving a therapy session when he saw Lena alone at a crosswalk. She noticed him, and for a moment their eyes met. Lena hesitated, then offered a cautious smile, not of reconciliation but acknowledgement. A silent message. "I hope you're better now." Ethan nodded in return, a small, genuine smile forming for the first time in years. He had come terrifyingly close to ruining not just Lena's life, but his own. Yet, that night in the rain, he chose a different path. And though he would carry the scars of his jealousy forever, Ethan finally learned that true love was not possession, but letting someone go, and healing the darkness within himself.